My dear students, welcome to my second video on reading of the poem Asleep in the Valley by Arthur Rimbaud. In my first video, I have discussed in brief why it is called an war poem, what is the background of the poem, and in this connection, I have also discussed the futility of war, as it is an anti-romantic poem that highlights the destructiveness of the war, the nothingness of the war, the brutality of the war, the bloodshed of the war. And I have also discussed it is the English translation of the original French poem Les du Val. In this video, today I will discuss in brief about the biographical information of this great poet, the marvelous boy poet of France, Arthur Rimbaud. We believe that without understanding the biography, without knowing the basic information about the biography of a poet, we cannot understand his poetical works or literary works properly. কোনো সাহিত্যিকের তার ব্যক্তি জীবন, তার সমাজ জীবন, তার গার্হস্থ্য জীবন সাহিত্যে চাই বা না চাই প্রতিফলিত হবেই। তাই কবিতা সঠিকভাবে বুঝতে গেলে আমাদের অবশ্যই জেনে নিতে হবে কবির জীবনী সম্পর্কে। তো সেই বিষয়টি মাথায় রেখে আজকের এই দ্বিতীয় ভিডিওতে আমরা আর্থার রিম্বাউড জীবনীটা জেনে নেব। This great poet, the marvelous boy of French poetry, was born in the year 1854 at Charleville in the northeast province of France. The landscape, the geography, the surroundings, the people of the area where he was born and brought up left great influence in the sensitivity of this poet. He has a very secure childhood like many others, as his father was an army officer, but the tragedy begins in his life when he was at the age of 6, because his father took separation. The wedlock between the parents was snapped when he was a boy of 6 years, and this tragedy left gravest mark on the sensitivity of the young poet. বাবা মার বিচ্ছেদ এটি সন্তানের উপর সব থেকে বেশি প্রভাবিত করে, তার যে সংবেদনশীলতাকে ছারখার করে দেয়। হয়তো বড়রা সেটা আমরা বুঝতে পারি না, কিন্তু শিশুর সংবেদনশীলতাকে সব থেকে বেশি ক্ষতিগ্রস্ত করে তার বাবা মার বিচ্ছেদ। কেন? শিশুর বড় হয়ে ওঠাতে বাবাকেও যতটা লাগে মাকেও ঠিক ততটা লাগে। Actually, this fact is quite common in European society, but we are fortunate enough in Indian society. Still today it is not so common. ফলে আমরা বলবো ভারতীয় ছেলেমেয়েরা অপেক্ষাকৃত এই দিক থেকে অনেক সৌভাগ্যবান। তো ইউরোপের ইতিহাসে এরকম বহু সাহিত্যিক, বহু বিশিষ্ট ব্যক্তির জীবনে দেখব এই দুর্ভাগ্য নেমে এসছে। 6 বছরের শিশুটি তার বাবা থেকে বিচ্ছিন্ন হলো। His mother took the responsibility. His mother, Mary Catherine, he took the responsibility of all the 4 children. Actually, Arthur is the second child of the 4 children of Mr. and Mrs. Rimbaud. And as a mother, Catherine was very strict and he was very disciplined. He was very careful about the education of her children. And that's why we see in her childhood, child Arthur go through the Bible, the fairy tales, the adventure stories, the native mythology and classical literature of the world. And he became a voracious reader. He enjoyed the spirit of literature. He enjoyed the various types of literature, and his young sensitivity was deeply influenced by his vast reading, and all along he was a very meritorious student. If we go through his career as a student, he was a brilliant student, but the parental negligence and the poverty, actually the mother was overburdened with 4 children, and that's why gradually he faced the bitter consequences in her life, in her personal life. And that is why unexpectedly we see at the age of 16 he bid goodbye to formal education. And it is also very shocking to know that he ran away from his house in search of freedom, in search of his own establishment in his own way. Because it was not possible for the young poet to, to express himself as a poet when his family is badly suffering from poverty. It is a luxury. Poetry is a luxury in a poor family. So that's why to get rid of the poverty and the suffering of the personal life, the poet ran away from his life. He has the adventurous spirit. He was bohemian in life, that was reflected in this part. But as a poet, when he was merely a student of primary section, he used to compose poetry successfully. And that is why we see his first book of poems was published when he was a boy of 16 year only. I know you are, some of you, or you are from the age group of 16, 17. So can you imagine, in your age, the poet was successful to establish, to, to publish his first book of poems. And his first book of poems, The Orphans, The New Year's Gift. It was published in 1970 when he was a boy of 16 year only. এই প্রসঙ্গে আমরা রিম্বাওকে আমাদের বাঙালির কবি, আমাদের প্রিয় কবি, কিশোর কবি সুকান্ত ভট্টাচার্যের সঙ্গে তুলনা করি। কেন বাংলা সাহিত্যের মধ্যে আমরা দেখব যে এত সংক্ষিপ্ত জীবনের পরিসর নিয়ে অন্য কোনো সাহিত্যিককে আমরা দেখব এত বেশি প্রতিভাত হতে পারেননি। খুব স্বল্প বয়সের মধ্যেই আমরা কিশোর কবিকে হারিয়েছিলাম। ঠিক একইভাবে আর্থার রিম্বাওয়ের ক্ষেত্রেও দেখব, তিনি যদিও 37 বছর বয়স অবধি বেঁচে ছিলেন, আমরা সে প্রসঙ্গে আসছি, কিন্তু তার আগে বলবো যে তার পোয়েটিক ক্রিয়েটিভিটি ওই 3-4 বছরের মধ্যেই মোটামুটিভাবে সীমাবদ্ধ। দ্য মোস্ট ফার্টাইল পিরিয়ড অফ হিজ পোয়েটিক ক্রিয়েটিভিটি from the age of 16 to 19, and he completely stopped writing when he was a man of 21 only. And his famous book of poems include The Drunken Boat, The Music, Evening Prayer, Poesies, A Season in Hell, and some others. But he was experimental in his personal life. So we see not only in poetry, in his personal life, he experimented with his own life. He ran away from home in year 1876. He joined the Dutch colonial army and had his first-hand experience of fighting in the front, but the profession did not satisfy him. He left the profession and started to enjoy the joy of wandering life. He traveled extensively 3 continents. And just after the celebration of his 37th birthday, the great poet, the boy poet, died from cancer. Actually, his right leg was amputated and he could not overcome the surgery. So within this short span of life, or it is better to say within 19 years of old, he was successful to establish himself as one of the best French poet. এই সংক্ষিপ্ত জীবনের পরিসরের মধ্যেও নিজেকে সাফল্যের সঙ্গে অন্যতম সেরা ফরাসি কবি হিসাবে তুলে ধরতে পেরেছিলেন। His glorious as a poet, its flowering, its explosion and sudden extinction still astonishes us. And the course of his life, the dramatic course of his life, is almost unpredictable, like the unpredictable course of a meteor. উল্কার গতিতে তার উত্থান এবং উল্কার গতিতেই আমরা বলবো তার পতন। But before his death, he was successful enough to prove himself one of the best poets. His influence as a modern poet, especially in modern art and literature, is very significant. He was an exponent of surrealism and free verse, what will be discussed in detail in my third video. His search for a new form of poetry is equally important because he believed poetry is a journey, a voyage to unknown, to know the unknown. And his poetry influenced the symbolist, the dadaist, the surrealist of the next generation. With his personal experience, with his realistic attitude to war, he has represented Asleep in the Valley as a practical war poet. Here, he has not glorified war like the traditional war poets, but he has represented war in its cruelest form, in its gravest form. The tragedy of the war, the horror of the war, the futility of war, and the nothingness of war is represented in this poem. To conclude,